Have you ever found yourself in a constant state of overwhelm, bombarded by information, yet feeling an unsettling lack of true understanding or effective application? We are adept at absorbing vast quantities of data, but the crucial skill of how to process, filter, and wisely utilize this knowledge often remains untaught. This is where the profound wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy forged over 2 millennia ago, offers an invaluable compass. It guides us not merely in acquiring more, but in mastering the very art of thought itself, enabling us to transcend pressure and cultivate profound self-mastery. As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, so sagely observed, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This isn't just an eloquent maxim, it's a direct invitation to reclaim our inner sovereignty, to understand that our true power lies in shaping our perceptions and responses, rather than being tossed about by the whims of external circumstances. Through the lens of Stoicism, every challenge transforms from a menacing wave threatening to engulf us into a powerful opportunity, a crucible in which our will is strengthened and our character is forged anew. What awaits you in this comprehensive exploration are 10 foundational Stoic thinking principles, ready for immediate application in your daily life. These aren't abstract theories, but time-tested strategies designed to cultivate a mindset rooted in self-discipline, unwavering resolve under pressure, and the serene, meaningful existence you inherently seek. Let us now embark on this transformative journey to uncover the profound intelligence embedded within Stoic thought. Principle number 1, distinguish between what is within your control and what is beyond your control. Have you ever poured your entire being into a significant project, only for the outcome to deviate drastically from your expectations, leaving you mired in self-blame and endless regret? This common human experience was precisely what the philosopher Epictetus addressed over 2,000 years ago. He illuminated a fundamental truth, the bedrock of enduring peace, and the key to escaping the debilitating cycle of regret, lies in our ability to meticulously delineate between what falls within the sphere of our control and what unequivocally lies beyond it. When you internalize the understanding that only your intrinsic attitude, your chosen perspective, and your deliberate actions genuinely belong to you, you liberate yourself from the invisible yet crushing burden of all those external elements you simply cannot alter. Epictetus's timeless wisdom offers a potent dose of clarity, inviting us to recalibrate our mental operating system. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This profound statement functions as a lighthouse in the often turbulent seas of existence, steadfastly reminding you that every external event, be it resounding praise or biting criticism, spectacular triumph or devastating failure, does not, and cannot, define the core of who you are. Your true mastery resides solely in the way you elect to receive and respond to these occurrences. Consider the remarkable journey of Sara Blakely, the visionary behind Spanx. She epitomizes the power of focusing exclusively on what is within one's control. As a sales representative, she harbored a compelling idea, to create innovative shaping undergarments that would empower women and boost their confidence. Yet, her path was paved with rejection. She faced hundreds of dismissive letters when approaching manufacturers. Instead of succumbing to despair or lamenting her misfortune, Sara chose a different route. She posed a crucial question to herself: what can I do to transform these no's into yes? This proactive stance became her guiding principle. She meticulously educated herself on the manufacturing process, delved into material research, and personally visited factories, testing countless prototypes. Day after day, Sara dedicated herself to refining her design, from perfecting fabric cuts to ensure a seamless body-hugging fit to selecting specialized tapes for invisible seams. Her unwavering drive stemmed from the profound belief that her diligent effort was entirely within her purview. Ultimately, Spanx was born, a groundbreaking product that not only addressed a genuine market need but evolved into a multi-billion-dollar phenomenon, opening doors for millions of women globally. This powerful narrative unequivocally demonstrates that regardless of the number or magnitude of obstacles that obstruct your path, you retain the inherent right and undeniable ability to shape your attitude, to persevere resolutely in your actions, and ultimately, to transmute your dreams into tangible realities. You can seamlessly integrate this same principle into the fabric of your daily life. Instead of bracing yourself for anticipated criticism from your supervisor or feeling the immense weight of looming deadlines, intentionally pause. Take a deep, centering breath, and consciously ask yourself, what segment of this situation is truly within my control? You possess absolute dominion over how you meticulously plan your tasks, how you flexibly adjust your working methodologies, and how you graciously receive feedback. The ultimate outcome or the reactions of others, however, are external variables that you simply cannot coerce. Embracing this fundamental limitation will instantly lighten your mental burden and allow you to channel your precious energy towards constructive, positive action. Intriguingly, the act of releasing needless worries paradoxically awakens and empowers you to an unprecedented degree. You will unearth a vast, untapped inner reservoir of resilience, patience, and the formidable capacity to steer yourself steadily through any storm. Whenever a challenging situation arises, instead of succumbing to agitation, actively inquire, what immediate action can I take to ameliorate this? This question becomes your personal touchstone, rigorously training your mind to master itself. Furthermore, as you consistently practice this vital distinction, you will observe that negative emotions gradually lose their overwhelming grip. You will progressively transition from states of confusion and helplessness to profound calmness and unwavering clarity. Imagine a time when even the slightest criticism could rob you of sleep, consuming your thoughts through the night. Now, you can simply acknowledge it, extract any valuable lessons, and fluidly move forward. This, precisely, is the transformative power inherent in understanding and respecting your sphere of control. In essence, the first principle of Stoic thinking is far more than an abstract piece of philosophical advice. It is a profoundly practical tool, a compass for living with unparalleled autonomy and unwavering resilience in the face of any tempest. Remember this enduring truth: while you may not be able to choose your circumstances, you always retain the absolute freedom to choose your response. And it is within that very choice that you will unearth genuine freedom and an enduring, unshakable strength. Principle number 2, practice inner self-examination every morning. When you greet each new morning, do you consciously pause, engaging in a moment of profound introspection to candidly ask yourself, what is the worst possible scenario that could unfold today? According to the profound teachings of Marcus Aurelius, this isn't an indulgence in pessimism or a surrender to fear, rather, it is a remarkably potent mental exercise, a form of preemptive psychological armor that prepares you for and fortifies you against the inevitable bumps, unforeseen setbacks, and subtle disappointments that lie ahead. By internalizing and articulating to yourself each day, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. All of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil, you not only fortify the ramparts of your mind but also forge an invisible shield. This shield, meticulously crafted through proactive awareness, serves to diminish your apprehension of the future and significantly broaden your innate capacity to endure adversity. Imagine yourself stepping into a critical meeting, fully cognizant that the technological infrastructure is inherently unpredictable. The projector might flicker and fail, the power supply could abruptly cut out, or the internet connection might inexplicably vanish. Rather than allowing these potential mishaps to destabilize your composure, dedicate a few deliberate minutes to meticulously list out your worst-case scenarios. The projector will fail, the slides won't display, the microphone will crackle. Then, systematically plan your precise responses. Bring printed copies of your slides as a contingency. Carry spare batteries for essential devices. Be prepared to pivot seamlessly to narrating your story purely through the power of your spoken word and expressive body language. When things inevitably go awry, you will stand firm and collected, not because you are impervious to frustration, but because you have already mentally convinced yourself that you are ready for any contingency. This proactive mental preparation gifts you an unparalleled sense of control. Self-reflection, in this Stoic context, is emphatically not an obsessive dwelling on potential disasters. Instead, it is the perfect, illuminating frame through which you can perceive and appreciate the inherent value of every single moment. Once you have methodically rehearsed the most unfavorable scenarios, even minor obstacles that once seemed daunting will appear significantly smaller, and your heart will feel immeasurably lighter. What's more, you will unearth a profound truth: regardless of what unfolds, you remain calm and steadfast because you have proactively trained your mind, rather than passively reacting to external stimuli. The powerful sense of inner command you cultivate each morning will resonate throughout your entire day, creating a ripple effect of composure. You might question the sustainability of this habit. The answer resides in the inherent strength derived from vividly picturing worst-case scenarios and bracing your spirit. In that moment of courageous acknowledgement, you humbly admit that you are not superhuman. Yet, it is precisely through this profound humility that you gain the foresight to anticipate challenges and consistently maintain backup plans at your disposal. And when, as often happens, everything proceeds smoothly, you breathe even easier, for all the pressure has been judiciously placed on your own meticulous preparation, not precariously on unpredictable external circumstances. You can seamlessly integrate this reflective ritual into an indispensable daily habit. Set your alarm just 5 minutes earlier than usual. Close your eyes, and with deliberate intention, mentally prepare for any potential storm that the day might bring. Each morning, visualize yourself donning an invisible suit of armor, intricately forged by your careful preparation and your unwavering bravery in confronting every conceivable possibility. You will palpably feel your soul growing steadier, no longer easily shaken by unexpected trials or sudden disruptions. This, precisely, is how Stoicism, a philosophy enduring for more than 2 millennia, teaches you not only to live with profound self-mastery but to live fully and deeply in each precious moment. Self-reflection transcends a mere thought exercise, it is the fundamental key to unlocking an expansive inner peace. When you conscientiously focus on controlling only what lies within your grasp, you cease to be paralyzed by external pressures. From meticulously preparing yourself for the worst-case scenarios to adeptly seizing opportunities embedded within every challenge, this second principle has unequivocally equipped you with an unyielding mental shield. Now that you are primed each morning to command your mindset, let us delve into the next transformative principle. Armed with this unparalleled internal weapon, you will learn not only to accept but to genuinely cherish every experience, whether sweet or sour, and to skillfully transmute it into a potent springboard for profound personal growth. Principle number 3, Amor Fati, love your fate. Have you ever pondered why certain individuals not only endure profound hardship but somehow learn to deeply cherish and even embrace their struggles as utterly inseparable facets of their existence? This profound disposition encapsulates the spirit of Amor Fati, the love of fate. This powerful concept, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy and famously championed by Nietzsche, transcends mere acceptance. It elevates us to actively love and express gratitude for those very challenges that life presents. From the inaugural pages of his seminal work, Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche compellingly asserts that the truly great individual is one who can wholeheartedly embrace both the undeniable beauty and the piercing thorns of their life. For it is only by loving one's fate, in its entirety, that we can truly liberate ourselves from the corrosive grip of resentment and paralyzing regret. Indeed, this principle was not an original invention of Nietzsche's. Stoic philosophers, long before his time, over 2 millennia ago, profoundly recognized that our fundamental attitude towards life's events is the ultimate determinant of its quality. As Seneca, the Roman Stoic, so succinctly yet powerfully reminded us, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. This concise yet impactful maxim serves not merely as a comforting platitude but as a guiding star, illuminating the path by which, if perceived rightly, suffering itself can sharpen our will and meticulously train our minds, much like the intricate and brilliant notes within life's grand, unfolding symphony. When we cultivate the capacity to welcome the storms that rage within and around us, we gain the ability to soar into them without fear of breaking our wings. For it is the very act of struggle, the resistance against adversity, that precisely forges stronger, more resilient wings. Consider the remarkable life of Frida Kahlo, the brilliant Mexican painter. At the tender age of 18, she was tragically struck by a catastrophic bus accident. The overturned vehicle brutally shattered her pelvis and spine, inflicting unimaginable, ceaseless pain and necessitating countless, agonizing surgeries throughout her life. Yet, rather than succumbing to despair or passively resigning herself to this cruel fate, Frida transformed each searing pang of agony into an boundless wellspring of artistic inspiration. With her easel meticulously positioned beside her hospital bed, she depicted herself in the most vibrant and defiant hues, a body undeniably broken, yet a spirit that soared indomitably. Every canvas became a bold, unapologetic proclamation of her inner strength, and she famously reminded herself, "Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly?" This declaration is not merely an affirmation of her power to transcend debilitating circumstances, it is a profound invitation to each of us to bravely explore the hidden depths of our own untapped potential. Thanks to her embrace of amor fati, Frida Kahlo did not merely survive, she forged and left behind a fierce and enduring artistic legacy, teaching us that when you truly learn to love your fate, even your most brutal wounds can astonishingly become the very wings that lift you higher than you ever imagined. From Frida's poignant story, we gain an undeniable insight. Amor fati is not a passive resignation to circumstances, but a profoundly active choice to deliberately set sail against the prevailing winds. Faced with crushing deadlines, you can choose to perceive them not as burdens, but as powerful levers designed to significantly boost your productivity and efficiency. In the midst of relational conflict, you can interpret it as a valuable opportunity to cultivate greater patience, deeper understanding, and profound empathy. More than anything else, truly loving your fate transmutes the debilitating emotions of fear and anger into potent, unyielding fuel, propelling every single step of your journey towards relentless self-improvement. Ultimately, amor fati serves as a poignant reminder that life is not a flawless, unblemished stretch of perpetually perfect days. Instead, it is a vibrant, intricate mosaic, where every single crack, every perceived imperfection, and every challenging crevice adds its own unique and indispensable touch to the overall masterpiece. It is only when we courageously learn to love those very cracks, to embrace the entirety of our lived experience, that we can truly perceive the authentic nature of happiness and profound meaning. So, do not merely learn to accept difficulties, let your heart genuinely love them, seeing them as patient, rigorous teachers guiding you inexorably towards the untapped inner strength you have yet to fully discover. Allow amor fati to be your unwavering companion, transforming every challenge you encounter into an irresistible springboard, launching you towards the highest and best version of yourself. Principle number 4, separate your emotions and actions. When anger surges within you, threatening to engulf you in an endless spiral of negativity, resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, pause, take a deep, measured breath, and consciously count to 10. Then, pick up a pen and meticulously record every single thought and feeling that is boiling inside you. As you engage in this deliberate act, you will gradually realize a liberating truth: you inherently possess the power to choose a more thoughtful and mature response, one that is not dictated by the raw surge of emotion. Authenticity, in the Stoic sense, is not measured by the explosiveness of your emotional outbursts, but by the profound restraint that unequivocally demonstrates your unwavering control over your own mind. As Epictetus famously stated, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our perception of them. This profound insight highlights that emotions are simply our body's natural, often automatic, reactions to specific circumstances. They are not, however, synonymous with our deliberate actions. So, why is this separation, between emotion and action, so profoundly crucial? Because every single time we permit emotion to overpower reason, we willingly surrender all our power to fleeting feelings, effectively transforming ourselves into their helpless victims. In moments of uncontrolled anger, we utter words that, once spoken, can never be retracted. In the grip of disappointment, we inflict wounds upon ourselves with our own corrosive negativity. By diligently learning to acknowledge and listen to our emotions without permitting them to dictate our actions, we create invaluable internal space. This space allows us to thoughtfully consider and objectively evaluate each available option, leading to wiser, more intentional decisions. The initial step in this process is simply recognizing the emotion itself. When your heart rate accelerates, your breath quickens, and your mind fixates intensely on a singular thought, grant yourself explicit permission to slow down. Jot down a few notes, sketch a quick mind map, or even quietly whisper to yourself, "I am angry," to help trace the precise source of your fury. The next phase involves the separation itself. Allow your emotion a private, contained space to be expressed, perhaps in writing, or through silent reflection, but without granting it full, unbridled control over your immediate behavior. Finally, when reason gradually reasserts itself, act with a calm, clear-headed attitude, thereby consciously avoiding potentially regrettable consequences. In a professional setting, you might encounter harsh criticism from a colleague or superior. Instead of rushing to react defensively or silently internalizing the negativity, take the time to articulate your thoughts about the feedback. This deliberate act not only helps you maintain your composure but also unlocks the door to learning, adapting, and ultimately responding constructively. In daily life, when conflicts inevitably arise with loved ones, the practice of separating emotion from action prevents the utterance of hurtful words and is paramount in preserving strong, meaningful relationships. Stoicism teaches us to perceive emotions as temporary guests who arrive and eventually depart, rather than as permanent rulers of our inner sanctuary. By consistently practicing the separation of emotion and action, we not only gain mastery over our momentary reactions but also cultivate profound patience, unwavering clarity, and genuine compassion. This, precisely, is the invaluable inner strength that Seneca and the Stoic philosophers diligently sought to impart to us. Now, I am eager to hear from you. The next time you felt overwhelmed by anger or stress, did you attempt to pause and consciously separate your emotions from your actions? Share your experiences or any questions you might have in the comments below, so that we may learn collectively and mutually strengthen our ability to master the mind, day by day. Principle number 5, practice keeping your silence. Have you ever been an unwilling witness to a heated argument, observing how a few carelessly chosen words can ignite the atmosphere like a raging blaze, and in that fleeting moment, you find yourself regretting having snapped back so quickly? In Stoic philosophy, the principle of keeping silence extends far beyond merely refraining from speaking. It is fundamentally about actively cultivating and discovering the profound stillness that resides in the space between a stimulus and your response. This, precisely, is the sanctuary where your true inner freedom resides. When you consciously choose to embrace life in all its unpredictable turbulence, that is the pivotal moment you pause, take a deep, grounding breath, and deliberately ask yourself, is this word or action truly necessary? Does it genuinely add value to the situation, or is it merely an impulsive, emotional reflex? Consider the story of Scott, a young manager navigating the competitive landscape of a tech company in Silicon Valley. During a recent project meeting, Scott found himself subjected to public criticism from his superior regarding a technical error. In the past, his default reaction would have been a strong, immediate defense, raising his voice, perhaps lashing out with sharp words, invariably straining his relationships with colleagues even further. But this time, Scott consciously applied the Stoic principle of keeping silent. Rather than immediately defending himself, he took a deep, steadying breath, observed the situation in silence, and after a few measured seconds, responded gently yet firmly, "Thank you for the feedback, boss. I'll review the issue thoroughly and find the optimal way to fix it." From that precise moment, the tense tone of the meeting visibly softened. Mutual respect was subtly but effectively restored, and the project proceeded smoothly without further emotional friction. As Epictetus wisely taught us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This timeless reminder is not merely an admonition to attentively listen to others, but to actively and introspectively listen to ourselves, to our own rising thoughts and emotions, before we permit ourselves to speak. Imagine the consequences if you habitually allow hasty words to escape your lips. You would consistently forfeit the crucial opportunity to understand yourself more deeply, to fully grasp the true, intentional message you wish to convey, and to accurately perceive the underlying needs of your counterpart. In stark contrast, when you consciously choose to keep silent, you unveil an expansive inner space where reason and emotion can converge harmoniously. This is the arena where you assert mastery over yourself, instead of being passively swept away by the turbulent waves of anger or paralyzing shame. More importantly, this cultivated silence is not a sign of timidity, hesitation, or weakness. It is, unequivocally, proof of profound inner strength. Before you learn to speak with impactful clarity, you have first learned to listen deeply and to empathize genuinely. Before you respond, you have meticulously considered the potential consequences of your words and meticulously chosen the most fitting and effective phrasing. As a direct result, you not only preserve your relationship with the listener but also command greater respect, meticulously building an undeniable image of steadfast calm and unwavering composure. Reflect on your past experiences. Before embracing Stoic practice, you might have been characterized by rage, uncontrolled outbursts, or a tendency to be divisive. After diligently applying Stoic principles, you remain composed, you embody wisdom, and you inspire your counterpart to listen attentively and respectfully. Thus, cultivating the profound space between stimulus and response is far more than a mere communication tactic, it is the fundamental cornerstone of true inner freedom. When you practice keeping silence, you grant yourself the invaluable power of choice, the power to select the right action, to articulate meaningful words, and to adopt the most appropriate attitude. Over time, you will confidently face any situation, free from the fear of being carried away by transient emotion. And it is within that very tranquility that you will discover your most resilient and unshakable strength. Thank you for journeying with us halfway through this fifth principle. Please stay tuned for Principle 6, where we will delve into the profound lesson of how to face and truly cherish the inherent uncertainty of life. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that each week you can take another deliberate step forward on your path to sharpening your own Stoic mindset. Principle number 6, accept the uncertainty of life. In truth, a profound awareness of life's inherent finitude and impermanence actually expands the human spirit. Instead of allowing your heart to drift aimlessly amidst pointless worries and anxieties about what might be lost, you learn to anchor yourself firmly and resolutely in the here and now. Once you fully grasp that you cannot cling to any given moment forever, you naturally devote your complete and undivided attention to what is currently unfolding, thereby freeing your mind from the suffocating grip of clinging to the past or the paralyzing fear of the future. As Epictetus so eloquently emphasized, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well. This profound saying is not merely an admonition to relinquish unreasonable desires, it is a powerful urging to merge harmoniously with the natural, unfolding flow of the universe, recognizing that every event, every occurrence, possesses its own inherent reason and purpose within the grand design. So, how do we authentically cultivate this transformative mindset, the willingness to fully accept life's inherent uncertainty? Begin with a brief, contemplative meditation each morning. Close your eyes, breathe deeply and deliberately, and visualize waking up one day, utterly uncertain whether everything remains as it was yesterday. Picture yourself departing this world by nightfall. Then, pose a penetrating question to yourself: if tomorrow never comes, have I truly lived this day to its absolute fullest? Though this thought may initially feel heavy, paradoxically, it brings with it a profound sense of liberation. When you learn to genuinely cherish the present moment, you no longer squander a single second on trivial pursuits or superficial distractions. In the profound stillness of meditation, you come to realize that the nagging fear of loss springs solely from excessive attachment to outcomes, to possessions, to expectations. If you truly love someone, you do not hold them with invisible, binding chains. Instead, you graciously grant them the freedom to be, and you learn to love yourself more completely in the process. Willingly acknowledging that everything is transient and will eventually pass does not make you pessimistic, on the contrary, it profoundly encourages you to live more fully, more vibrantly, and more intentionally. You share meals with genuine gratitude, engage in conversations with friends wholeheartedly, and savor each breathtaking sunset without impatiently rushing off to the next engagement. Moreover, embracing uncertainty empowers you to respond with remarkable flexibility to adversity. When carefully laid plans unexpectedly collapse, you remain calm and steadfast, immediately seeking out a new path or alternative solution. When something is irrevocably lost, you do not cling to corrosive regret, but rather welcome the inherent lesson it offers and gracefully move forward. This, precisely, is the quintessential Stoic spirit, viewing hardships not as insurmountable obstacles, but as essential material for forging unshakable fortitude, thereby transforming challenges into profound opportunities to strengthen your unwavering will. Ultimately, You will come to perceive yourself not as a hapless victim of fate, but as a skilled artist who paints life's vast canvas with deliberate, masterful strokes, each brushstroke adding depth and meaning. Each morning, gently remind yourself of memento mori, not to morbidly brood over your mortality, but to awaken to the preciousness of life. Today is a sacred gift. So, let no moment slip away in vain. By diligently applying this sixth Stoic principle, embracing impermanence, you not only learn to remain serene amidst life's inevitable storms, but also uncover the immense, latent power residing within you, a power more than sufficient to overcome any trial and to cherish every single breath of this fleeting life. Principle number 7, set internal goals instead of external ones. James, in his unwavering pursuit of an ideal physique, once chased external benchmarks as though they were the sole measure of his success. He meticulously tracked every kilogram shed, every percentage of fat burned, and yearned for the admiration of others. Yet, he often found himself berating his reflection in the mirror, frustrated by the absence of sharply defined muscles. He had inadvertently overlooked a fundamental truth: true peace and lasting fulfillment emanate not from the external outcome, but from a profound love for the process of training itself. Recognizing this, James made a pivotal decision. He chose to release the heavy burden of externally defined achievement and instead focused wholeheartedly on the inherent experience of each morning run. The rhythmic sensation of his breath finding a steady cadence, the trickle of sweat on his forehead, and the distant echo of passing car tires along a quiet street, all became profound opportunities for James to cultivate a deeper understanding of his own body and to express profound gratitude for the health and motivation divinely granted to him each day. From James's illuminating story, the distinction between an external goal and an internal one becomes strikingly clear. When we pour all our precious energy into the outcome, how many kilograms we shed, how much fat we burn, or the fleeting admiration of others, the pressure invariably mounts, becoming a crushing weight. By stark contrast, when we consciously prioritize the intrinsic experience, the daily progress, the genuine effort, and the profound gratitude for the journey we are on, every morning we awaken becomes a sacred, precious gift. You don't embark on a run to prove your worth to the world, but to honor the profound love that the Creator has bestowed upon you through the miraculous vessel of your body and the strength within it. Indeed, a higher power has instilled in us the inherent instinct to strive forward, to improve, to grow. But that same higher power also desires us to comprehend that the journey itself is an incomparable blessing. When you offer a silent prayer before stepping out the door for your run, you are not simply asking for a sculpted physique. You are expressing heartfelt thanks for the sturdy legs that empower you to conquer each stride, for the lungs that fill with life-giving air, and for the opportunity to move and breathe. Rather than obsessing over results and succumbing to frustration when they don't materialize instantly, allow yourself to be fully immersed in the companionship of faith, to be utterly in sync with your breath and the rhythmic cadence of your footfalls. This, precisely, is the internal goal that transmutes every single run into a living hymn of gratitude, a profound expression of divine love and grace. Setting an internal goal also serves as a robust mechanism for sustaining lasting motivation, particularly when challenges inevitably arise. Have you ever wondered why so many individuals burn brightly with initial enthusiasm for a few weeks, only to abruptly abandon their pursuits? It is often because they inextricably link their sense of success to external standards, a specific number on a scale, a certain level of external recognition, or the ephemeral praise from friends. When the applause fades, or the external validation ceases, so too does their spirit. Conversely, when you quietly and sincerely thank a higher power each time you achieve a small milestone, even if it's just another kilometer covered or the fleeting sensation of your legs feeling a little lighter, the profound joy that springs from within keeps your passion vibrantly alive. That inner light, that quiet voice of gratitude, becomes your unwavering guide, ensuring you never lose your way, even in the fiercest storms. Moreover, a higher power teaches us the invaluable virtues of patience and humility. When you aim for an internal goal, you learn to genuinely appreciate every incremental step of your progress, to celebrate your honest efforts rather than only flashy achievements. You realize that self-improvement is not a finite destination but a boundless, lifelong journey. You pray not merely to ask for blessings, but to cultivate profound gratitude for every single heartbeat, for every muscle still in motion, and for each new day as an invaluable, sacred gift. So, if you yearn for authentic, lasting change, consciously shift your focus from, "I must achieve this specific outcome," to, "I am profoundly experiencing this journey." Allow your simple morning prayer to become the clear declaration of your internal goal: "Lord, grant me boundless gratitude for every single step I take." In doing so, the sweetness of success will no longer depend on external, measurable outcomes, but entirely on the inherent quality and depth of the journey you meticulously construct each day. And as you progress, you will undeniably come to see that with each deliberate breath, a higher power is smiling upon you, because you have learned to genuinely love the path meticulously laid before you. Principle number 8, community over individual. Do you know the story of Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus? The humble Roman farmer, revered for his simple life and deep integrity, was summoned in desperate haste to save the Republic of Rome during its hour of gravest crisis. Though he reigned in glory as dictator for a mere 15 days, his tenure was remarkably brief, and the moment victory was undeniably secured, he selflessly relinquished absolute power, returning with quiet dignity to plow his fields and share a simple, humble meal with his devoted wife and children. That profound act stands not only as an irrefutable testament to his unwavering service to the community but also as a vivid and living expression of the Stoic philosophy, prioritizing community over the individual. We are not isolated islands, disconnected and self-sufficient entities, rather, we are inextricably members of a larger, interconnected body, citizens of the vast, boundless cosmos. From Cincinnatus' exemplary life, we learn that Stoicism does not demand that you deny your individual self or neglect your personal well-being. Instead, it profoundly emphasizes your inherent responsibility to the collective, to the greater good. When Epictetus diligently taught his students, he consistently reminded them, "Remember that you were born not only for yourself, but to contribute to society and the world around you." It is this very profound sense of shared responsibility that transmutes every individual action into a vital link with others, transforming personal will into an astonishing, collective strength. Have you ever viscerally felt the immense power of a truly united group? When a neighborhood bands together, tirelessly clearing debris after a devastating storm, the initial fatigue often melts away, replaced by a profound joy found in shared effort and purpose. When you write an article on Stoic philosophy, pouring your heart and intellect into it, and then receive heartfelt thanks from a complete stranger, you truly grasp the immeasurable value and deep resonance of community. Stoicism emphatically urges you not to retreat into the isolated confines of your own world, but to courageously open your heart to actively join the broader community, the cosmic whole, where faith, mutual support, and profound connection flow back to you in abundance. Why is community so profoundly vital? Because none of us was born to exist as an isolated island. Every single thought, every deliberate action, however seemingly small, creates tangible ripples that extend far beyond our immediate perception. A single word of encouragement, sincerely offered, can spark a flickering ember of hope in another. An act of generous sharing builds an invisible yet robust bridge between hearts. When you consciously choose to place the common good above your individual self-interest, you unleash a tremendous, almost inexhaustible, source of energy, enabling you to live a better, more fulfilling life yourself while simultaneously propagating the transformative Stoic spirit to all those around you. And you can begin to make this tangible difference today. Ask yourself, how can I genuinely help those immediately around me? Perhaps it involves taking just 5 minutes to truly and actively listen to a struggling friend, or selflessly pitching in to support a local charity, dedicating your time and energy. No matter how modest the act may seem, it actively contributes to building a resilient, interconnected community where each individual is valued, uplifted, and inherently supported. From emulating Cincinnatus' inspiring leadership to consistently applying these profound principles in your work and daily interactions, you will inevitably discover that living for the community is not merely an obligatory duty but an endless, self-replenishing source of profound motivation and deep satisfaction. For when you stand strong, we all stand strong. When you generously share, the entire group thrives and flourishes. It is within that very connection, that shared humanity, that the true and enduring meaning of life resides. So, What are your thoughts on the profound Stoic ideal of prioritizing community over the individual? Share your personal experiences or innovative ideas in the comments below. Your story, no matter how humble, may ignite profound inspiration in others. And whatever its scale, every act undertaken for the benefit of the community truly deserves our deepest respect and appreciation. I eagerly look forward to reading your insightful thoughts. Principle number 9, voluntary discomfort. Have you ever paused to ponder why we so frequently shy away from uncomfortable situations, even though those very moments represent our most significant opportunities to forge unwavering willpower and cultivate profound resilience? Principle 9, a powerful tenet from Seneca, serves as a compelling reminder: to become truly strong, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually, you must be willing to step intentionally outside your comfort zone and consciously embrace brief, self-imposed inconveniences as an essential, non-negotiable part of your personal growth journey. Imagine this scenario: you awaken each morning, and before instinctively flicking on the light or brewing that comforting hot cup of coffee, you prepare yourself for a small, deliberate challenge, a cold water shower. At first, the icy blast will undoubtedly make you shiver involuntarily, and your heart will race, tempting you to retreat instantly to familiar warmth. Yet, after consistently sticking with it for just a few days, you will unearth a remarkable truth: those mere seconds under the cold stream trigger a cascade of overwhelmingly positive physiological and psychological effects: improved circulation, instant mental clarity, and a quiet, profound sense of self-pride for having conquered a small part of yourself. From that pivotal point onward, you will consistently initiate each day with noticeably more confidence, heightened energy, and an invigorating sense of readiness than ever before. The profound value of voluntary discomfort lies not in self-punishment or asceticism. It is revealed in the striking contrast between your state before and after you consciously apply Stoic practice. Previously, you might have crumbled under minor pressures, a harsh email, an unexpected deadline, or even an unplanned phone call. But by systematically cultivating small, intentional hardships, cold showers, walking with ankle weights during a daily stroll, or eating a deliberately simple meal one evening, you provide yourself with invaluable opportunities to experience discomfort in a controlled environment. As you do, you keenly observe your body's and mind's automatic reactions. You begin to recognize the primal instinct to flee or to lash out impulsively, and through consistent practice, you gradually master those impulses. You will come to realize that after having consciously endured biting cold, those everyday irritations that once seemed so daunting now hardly register as frightening. You begin to understand, with profound clarity, that suffering is not an enemy to be avoided, but a strict, invaluable teacher. Every single time you deliberately push through a moment of chosen discomfort, you meticulously lay another solid brick in the unbreakable foundation of your will. Moreover, you expand your capacity not only for physical tolerance but, more importantly, for mental endurance, equipping yourself to face life's more significant storms with greater effectiveness and calm. The ancient Stoics did not seek hardship for its own sake or to inflict pain upon themselves. They profoundly understood the intrinsic value in voluntarily confronting the uncomfortable as a potent method to build unshakable steadfastness. In doing so, they learned to accept, and even to cherish, difficult moments, precisely because in these moments, they held the reins of their own reactions, rather than allowing external emotions and unpredictable circumstances to dictate their inner state. So, are you willing to courageously challenge yourself, starting today? Begin with a cold water shower. Just once is sufficient to begin revealing the hidden reserves of your inner strength. You can apply the profound principle of voluntary discomfort to any area of your life, your work, your studies, or your personal relationships. And in a remarkably short time, you will no longer be an empty vessel passively receiving knowledge. You will transform into an active agent, poised and ready to transmute every challenge into a powerful opportunity for profound growth. Now that you've grown accustomed to chosen discomfort, steel yourself to conquer new heights. Allow me to share the final secret in this transformative Stoic journey: how can you consistently examine and meticulously fine-tune your thoughts daily, even when everything around you seems stable and predictable? Stay tuned for the next installment to discover the crucial step on the path to Stoic mastery. Principle number 10, continuously check and adjust your thinking. Imagine a serene sunset atop a rugged mountain, where a seasoned swordsman, much like the legendary Miyamoto Musashi, sits quietly by a crackling fire. His gaze, both piercing and contemplative, never leaves the small, worn notebook clutched in his hands. Each line meticulously records battles fought, every strike that yielded success, alongside the fatal mistakes that offered invaluable lessons. In the profound silence of that mountain retreat, Musashi held an unshakable belief: a warrior's journey does not culminate with the mere sharpening of the blade, rather, it truly begins and continuously progresses with the relentless honing of oneself. His life story stands as a vivid testament to the 10th Stoic principle, the continuous, disciplined process of questioning, examining, and refining one's own thoughts. The adage, "Learn until old age, teach until death," perfectly encapsulates this lifelong commitment. From Musashi's exemplary life, we unequivocally recognize that thinking is not a static tool, a fixed capacity you either possess or lack. Instead, it demands the same active, rigorous, and disciplined effort as intense physical training. By consistently maintaining the habit of challenging your own cognitive processes, you actively unlock the door to uncovering subtle gaps in your logic and unearthing unconscious beliefs, often deeply ingrained and unexamined, that may be silently hindering your resolve. Instead of passively accepting every concept or narrative as absolute truth, you cultivate the critical habit of asking, is this perspective truly objective, or am I permitting my emotions, biases, or past experiences to unduly influence my judgment? Thus, every experience, whether a triumphant success or a disappointing setback, becomes invaluable raw material for meticulously sharpening your mind and expanding your vision. Building on this profound philosophy, you can readily adopt a simple yet remarkably powerful method: commit to keeping a weekly Stoic journal. Each Sunday, dedicate a focused block of time to honestly listing 3 situations during the past week where you successfully applied Stoic principles, and 3 moments when you felt you faltered, failed, or hesitated. The act of meticulously writing this down not only illuminates your progress and growth but also invites deeper, more nuanced analysis. You can then ask, why did strategy A work so effectively? What specific factors caused strategy B to fall short of its intended outcome? Once these patterns are identified, construct a concrete, actionable plan to adjust your approach for the coming week, whether that entails shifting your viewpoint, consciously altering how you respond to challenging emotions, or diligently practicing a new skill. Through this continuous process, you are actively monitoring, evaluating, and updating your internal operating system. Much like the swordsman rigorously honing his blade, each precise stroke making the edge progressively keener, you are systematically refining your mind. Moreover, the vital habit of self-scrutiny need not be confined solely to journaling. You might choose to share your introspective findings with a trusted companion, gaining a valuable outside perspective that can expose your blind spots. Alternatively, you could utilize study tools like flashcards to regularly review core Stoic tenets and rigorously test your comprehension. Gradually, as you consistently engage in these practices, you will notice a profound and tangible shift within yourself. Your mind will grow more agile, your self-awareness will heighten dramatically, and you will become significantly less susceptible to the insidious influence of negative emotions or outdated, limiting assumptions. When thoughtful inquiry, this continuous, check and adjust, routine, becomes an ingrained practice, you transition from passively receiving information to actively and deliberately crafting the meaning of your own life. And much like the legendary Miyamoto Musashi, you will come to understand, with profound clarity, that the journey of self-improvement never truly ends, it only advances, refines itself, and meticulously prepares you to face every challenge with unwavering self-mastery and unshakable Stoic resolve. To summarize, we have journeyed together through 10 powerful Stoic thinking principles. Distinguishing what's within your control from what's not. Engaging in morning self-examination. Loving your fate with amor fati. Separating emotions from actions. Practicing mindful silence. Embracing life's inherent uncertainty. Setting internal rather than external goals. Prioritizing community. Welcoming voluntary discomfort. Continuously checking and adjusting your thoughts. Each of these principles provides you with a clear, actionable mindset shift, equipping you to face daily challenges with genuine resilience, profound clarity, and an unshakable inner calm. Your journey towards a more rational, purposeful, and fulfilling life truly begins here, in this very moment of awakened awareness. Now, it is your turn to take action. From these 10 principles, which one resonates most deeply with you? Which principle do you feel is your greatest challenge, or conversely, your most powerful lever for change? And are you ready to pick one and apply it to your life right now? Perhaps you'll consciously pause before reacting to a frustrating email, or you might meticulously list out a worst-case scenario before a significant meeting. Then, return to this space and share your experience in the comments below. You never know whose journey your story might illuminate, whose resolve it might inspire. Don't forget to subscribe to BAudio and hit the notification bell to keep sharpening your thinking with more profound Stoic insights and practical wisdom. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to continuing this transformative journey with you in the next video.